Good morning, shop rats. Welcome back. Today here in the shop we're back on the Stitches Challenger, continuing moving forward on the process of getting everything set up and ready now that it's on the rotisserie. We have to lift the car up, we have to put some door braces in, but the first thing we have is a huge mess in here. Life has been so crazy busy and we've accomplished so much in such a short amount of time that we've got to kind of push the walls back and get a bunch of stuff moved upstairs. And well, there's just a lot to do. So this could be rather interesting. I'd encourage you to stick around. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you do me a big favor and do that right now, I sure would appreciate it. That would be awesome. Hit the bell so you receive those notifications and you don't miss any of these exciting episodes here at My Cars Shop. Let's watch the show intro. We'll see you on the other side. By the way, I am Mike and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Cars Shop.
It's always a struggle for me to know what do I share, what don't I share, what should I share, what should I say, what should I do. I feel kind of psychotic sometimes, and yet I have to go back to the basics of this channel, which is sharing the details. And sometimes the details are just down and dirty. Now, I'm not going to necessarily sit here and share with you me putting away 3 hours worth of crap and taking stuff upstairs, but I do want to just briefly talk about that. When you're tearing down a car to this level, there's a lot of stuff to deal with. And remember that we don't have just one car, we have 4 here in the shop right now, plus 5 other ones here on the property that we're dealing with. So that makes for a lot of stuff. Plus then there's a little project over here that I did for the April Fool's episode that I still haven't put away. So that's just the reality of dealing with this. And I know some of you guys have talked about that. You struggle with the same thing, trying to keep your shop space organized. And I've got some episodes coming on that, and I'm certainly not coming at that from the place of being a saint and saying, here's what you have to do. I'm going to come at this from the place of being a very strong offender, a sinner, and share what I'm learning as I go. So that's not the point of this episode, but I did want to just do a little segue and say if we're going to share it all, then we definitely have to share it all. So I'm going to take some time and try to push the walls back, and then probably by the time that we come back here and you see me in about a split second. All right, that's good progress. We got a lot of stuff taken upstairs. A few things that I haven't dealt with yet because this car's in here, but it's pouring rain out and I'm not putting this out in the rain. So it is what it is. But I got the center lines readjusted, got the safety pins in for the center line height adjustment. And I don't think we want to go much further than that. I would rather it was a little bottom heavy. And so it may take 2 of us to get it turned completely on its side. But that's okay. And the windshields and back glass is still in and the doors are still on, which is going to throw the center of gravity off anyway. So we're pretty good at that. So I'm happy with it now. For now, I did raise it up 1 more notch. I do believe it will clear the bottom of the rotisserie now as well, so we can turn it on its side and the side won't get down below. 100% not sure on that yet, but I only have so many eyes, and we'll have to get the camera out and shoot a picture down there. Obviously, I don't want to go any higher with the car than I have to because safety. So as the boys over at Iron Horse Garage say, if you can see that sticker on the end of my toolbox, and there's one over there, safety third. One of the downsides of having a shop this small is there's just not enough room to do everything. Fortunately, the rain has let up, so I'm going to pull this out and throw a tarp over the engine so we don't have to spend 2 hours drying and cleaning everything so it doesn't rust. One of these days we'll get a hood on this car, but that's not priority right now. So we'll get this out of here, and now I have the angle iron that we need to put the braces in, so we're going to go ahead and get that done here. So we've got our angle iron here, which is nothing more than an old bed frame, but why go out and buy $10,000 worth of angle iron when John had a couple of old bed frames laying around and he said, hey, come and get it, you can use this. So we got to measure exactly where we're at here. we'll go do that. But this is going to be more than adequate. And just to clarify, I don't really need to put these braces in. This is just a safety precaution. Believe it or not, it might surprise you, but I do tend to be a little cautious about stuff like chassis twist, and with it hanging, for months now, going to be hanging by its ends. I think before we take the doors off, it would be good to just weld the brace in there to be sure that nothing shifts around a little bit. What I really am anxious to do is pull that big sheet of 20 gauge metal out and start making those floor pans, and we're going to probably do that, if all be well, maybe in the next episode, if not that one, the next one after that. Almost kind of like having a hoist. This is pretty cool. Think just from the perspective of being able to work on these floor pans. This is incredible. I can sit here on a chair. I'm excited. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is put that brace from like in here back to across in here. So we got to get a dimension. I'm going to go as far forward as I can. So we need to make those braces about 5 foot long. That'll be perfect. And we'll put them right across like that. So again, it's just to help. I'm not too concerned about anything. The rockers are real solid, and we've got the subframe connectors, but I just, for peace of mind, would like to have that in there. The problem is, of course, then I'm going to be having to like work over and work under it, but I think that's well worth it, I think, for safety's sake. So there we go. Okay, this is where I'm going to put it. I can weld it up here, weld it here, maybe weld it down the edge here a little bit. I can weld it underneath. I don't think I need to get too carried away. But I think we're ready to go ahead and just shoot this in there and be done with it. I did go ahead and grind up all the edges and grind up where we're welding it to. So I think that's going to make a nice little extra support brace just to kind of keep things square. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a pain, as I said, to work around it, but better safe than sorry. So maybe overkill, maybe not necessary, but better safe than sorry. Did I mention better safe than sorry? Okay, so a couple of beads up here, a couple down here, and then one underneath. It ain't going anywhere. And if the car really starts to move, then one of these welds breaks, we'll know that, and of course it'll be too late and it won't matter anyway. But it's just a little extra safety. Like I said, it's gonna kind of make it a pain in the butt to work in here, but it'll be fine. So, all right, we'll get the side done that you're on, and then I think I'll have to go get my darling dumpling to help me take these doors off and get them out of the way. More good job done, obviously. Thanks, Beck, for your help. Appreciate it. So next thing is, before we tip this car too far and this windshield falls out on the ground, we want to get that out of there. So I don't know if the back glass is loose like that or not. No, it's still glued in there really good, which is funny because it's about rotted out. But we'll double check that. I'm gonna leave that in there for now, we'll see. But I gotta get this windshield out before then it goes on the floor. So we'll go around and, we'll do that. There is a special wire tool for doing this where you kind of like slip it through and then go around, and we could do that. Or you can use a good quality utility knife. Just make sure it has a good sharp blade. So I'm going to go ahead and do it the best way possible and use this old dull blade to get this out of here. And just kind of slip that along and just kind of cut up through the rubber. More. Ooh, that's hard as a stick in there. I think this was the only side of this windshield that was being held. There we go. Ooh. It's hard as a hard thing. There we go. Notice that you're coming right towards your jugular. That's really good for you. So yeah, you're cutting along here right towards your jugular. You'd be amazed at how much glass will bend. So now that we have it on the rotisserie, it's really hard to reach up here. So maybe we'll just kind of get over a little bit, or maybe this way and cut up there. All right, I'll have to get Becky's help and we'll get that out of there. Hopefully it doesn't go shooting out of there until I'm ready. So, just kind of stick your hand in there. Just give it a pull. Okay, set it there for now, and then we'll take it upstairs. So, very good, thank you. This is going to be so awesome to work this way and on that side with it tipped on its side like this. It's going to make life so much easier. That's how it's done. It's still a little bit bottom heavy, but I'm okay with that, I think, because where these holes here are what align the center, and it's possible that it's a little bit low in the back. I'm not sure, but I'm okay with it being a little bottom heavy. I'd rather that than be top heavy, and I don't think I want to spin it to the next hole, because spinning it to the next hole would actually put it too far over center, and I don't want to do that. So I can work on it like this, I'm fine with it. Frame rails are amazing on this car, so that's good. Almost as nice as the back ones. But that's really good progress, and really happy with the way this is going. I remember to tighten up my safety bolts and a few other things, but big progress. So now we gotta figure out where we're putting the doors. I don't want to put them back upstairs because they're just too heavy to be carrying up and down. And you never know, I might get a wild hair and fix these doors sometime. But I really want to put a burn on and focus on getting the floor pans, particularly in the cab, done on this next. So that's probably, maybe, unless I'm forgetting something, that's probably what we're going to do on the next episode on this, but I don't know, you know, I just wing it. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you're enjoying this, and if there's things you want to know or things you would like to see, of course, drop them down there in the comments. We love hearing from you. I'm getting great feedback from you guys. I really appreciate hearing how what I'm doing on this project is encouraging you with your projects. I know we've had comments from people who said they've never done like hanging a quarter panel, which we just did a few episodes ago. And watching what I did and the detail that I shared really encourages you to be able to know that you can do this. Remember that the biggest key ever in doing a car, woohoo, you'd think I'd been drinking, but I ain't. The biggest key in doing a project like this is looking at everything that's rusty and doesn't look like a car and just cutting that out and replacing it with stuff that does look like a car. It's that simple. You may suck at it when you start, but the only way to not suck is to keep doing it. So there you go. All right, we're on the Face Thing. We're on Instagram /mycarshop. We're here on the You Thing, of course, so make sure that you hit that bell, receive those notifications after you subscribe, because subscribing is important. We're maybe by this episode we've hit our 1,000. If not, we're really close, I'm sure. And looking forward to hitting that mark and watching that YouTube algorithm hopefully start to grow the channel more. I appreciate it, like I said, and one more thing.